Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Good morning and assalamu alaikum. Here with another information-filled episode with some news and of course PSL season. We've got the heat wave coming in. We also want to discuss what youth is doing, what are they up to, what's the future and how should they conduct themselves. Also a bunch about some historical facts and figures and some exciting news about science with your favorite morning show. Good morning. We are here at PTV World. Muzzammil Khan and joining me Eesha. Rehan. Assalamu alaikum Eesha, how are you?
Wa alaikum assalam Muzzammil. Thank you for the hearty introduction and a very blessed Jummah Mubarak to you and to all of our viewers watching. You know, people all around the globe look forward to Jummah because look forward to Friday since it leads to the weekend. However, for us Muslims, we look forward to Friday.
And it's a half day. I used to be excited about it in my school.
All the kids at school.
2 baje tak nahi baithna padta tha.
But you know, we as Muslims look forward to Friday since it is a day of blessings. It is a day of prayer and it is a day of unity in which we all come together and bond as a society. But make sure that this Jummah and till the next Jummah stay hydrated and stay indoors during peak hours because the heat wave is bombarding us.
Oh,
it is
heat
ongoing.
wave is in full swing, yeah.
Exactly. We were just discussing how when we step outside in the sun, it feels like we are melting under the sunlight.
You know, my friend cracks a joke every time summer kicks in, and when people are taking candid pictures of themselves, you know, they highlight the sunshine and, you know, they say sun-kissed, and my friend says sun-slapped if you're living in Pakistan. So, with that,
accurate.
5 to 7 degrees Celsius in certain areas of the country and about 4 to 6 degrees Celsius above normal in the northern areas of the country. Stay hydrated, stay indoors, make sure during the peak hours you're not out there exposing yourself to the sun. And now with that, when we are going to move towards some exciting sports news and not forgetting your, make sure the mineral intake, you put some salt in that water before you drink it. We're going to discuss PSL now. Eliminator rounds are here. The second eliminator is in progress. Lahore Qalandars had, you know, taken a step forward, and Eesha was asking me right about before the show that if I support Lahore Qalandars, I support good cricket because Lahore Qalandars is a team that surprises you. And to talk more about this eliminator series and what's going on in the final that's coming up, we have our guest who's joining us online on Zoom, KASHIF SHABBIR Sahab, and he is a sports analyst. Sir, Assalamu alaikum, a very warm welcome, and I would want your first comment on Lahore Qalandars and their performance.
Thank you very much. Wa alaikum assalam. Yesterday we had a very good match. I believe that Karachi Kings made a very good total when they achieved 191 despite all the missing and which was done by Lahore Qalandars initially. But I guess the Lahore Qalandar players, they batted pretty well and well led by Fakhr Zaman initially and then by Abdullah Shafiq. They managed to you know, finish the total very easily.
Right. And when we talk about the final that's coming up and also the series against Bangladesh that is right now in planning, how do you see our cricketers? Because this season was enough for us to gauge the performance and the physical health of our players. Up against Bangladesh, what do you think?
I think so far everything is right on the track. The players, they are performing well. I think we have a very good gelled Pakistan team in hand, and it will be led by Salman Ali Agha. I believe that against Bangladesh, it is going to be an easy tour for Pakistan. They are going to host Bengalis. And I think this is a very good opportunity that Pakistan should make a very good comeback because in the recent past, we have not been doing well with the white ball. I think this is an important series for Pakistan. All the new talent is being inducted in the team and they have been given the opportunity to play against the Bangladesh team. I think it is an opportunity for the newcomers, and plus few of the players, they are making a comeback in the series like Hassan Ali and Shadab Khan. I think it is going to be an overall a very good opportunity for the newcomers.
All right, you know, KASHIF, the heat is not just brewing up in the country, it is brewing up in this studio. Since my co-host Muzzammil is a Lahori and I am an Islamabadi. So please unfold today's match for us. What do you think, which team is going to win and be successful?
If your team wins, I owe you pizza. If my team wins, you owe me one.
It's done and it is settled on national television. KASHIF, please help us.
I think both the teams are very well balanced. And if you look at the bowling or the batting side of both Islamabad and the Lahore Qalandars, they will match each other. It all depends on the day, which player performs well for the team. And if I think fielding is going to be very crucial for both the teams. If both the teams, they are able to field well, they do not drop any unnecessary catches, and they grasp all the balls, I think that is going to be the turning point between both the team. But if you talk about the wicket of Lahore, it is a full batting track. It is supporting batters, and the teams which are winning the toss, they are opting to bat first so that they can post a good total on the board and can exert pressure on the opposition. I think this is going to be the same trend today as well. The team winning the toss will definitely try to post a good total on the board. Anything above 220 is going to be a good total, because in my opinion, 190, 200 is a par total, and anything below 190 is below par. So team batting first must surpass around 220, 220, 230 to give some, difficulty to the opposition. So it is going to be a very good match today.
All right, since it's PSL season 10 and we've been watching it since it began, Lahore Qalandars, like their name, their performances have been very Qalandri and Malangi in the past seasons, because they would come out with a surprise or like be eliminated in the first rounds. This time round, we are seeing them close up to the finals. So what do you think? How have, beyond PSL season 5, let's comment on that part, how has their system improved in which they've made better decisions, and now we are seeing Lahore Qalandars come up to the finals?
Definitely, Lahore Qalandars has progressed pretty well. If you start from the PSL 1 till PSL 10, they have emerged to be a very strong side and well led by Shaheen Shah Afridi. Their batting side and the bowling side both are equally matched. So I think they are a very good opposition for any team, whether it be Islamabad United, or for that matter, if they go to the finals, they are going to give a very difficult, time to the Quetta Gladiators. So all in all, the Lahore Qalandar is a very well-gelled team.
Now, you said the bowling lineup. If we talk about the bowling lineup and compare Islamabad United with Lahore Qalandars, we're going to come to the Quetta Gladiators later on. How would you compare the bowling lineup and the batting lineup?
I think the bowling lineup, it is well led by Shaheen Shah Afridi and Haris Rauf, because they are the main two strikers for Pakistan. So that tells the story. And if you talk about their batting is obviously, we have Fakhar Zaman at the top. And if Fakhar Zaman do not play well, then Abdullah Shafiq is there to give that strength to the batting side. And if you look at the batting of Lahore Qalandar, I think they can bat well till number 8. So if any side has a batting of 8 players, it is considered to be a very good batting side. And this is exactly what is happening with Lahore Qalandars. Then Lahore Qalandars have very good spinners in the form of, now with the inclusion of Shakibul Hassan of Bangladesh, I think that is a very good addition to the bowling strength of Lahore Qalandars. Naeem is also bowling pretty well. In the last match, he just gave away only 15 runs in 3 overs and took a very important wicket of David Warner. So I think that he's also a very good inclusion in the side, because he can bat well, and along with that, he can also, give that bowling strike to the Lahore Qalandars.
Over the past few months, let's talk about the past 18 months, and we've seen a lot of comments come out about our team's fitness, national team, when we talk about the T20s and all. This time round, we saw international players and the local players compete in this PSL season 10. So how did you see the fitness improve in our players compared to the international players? Because of course, they get better training and a lot of other things.
I think fitness has always been a dilemma for the Pakistani squad. And when you talk about fitness, there's always a question mark about the fitness of our players. It all depends how well they are performing and how well they are prepared for the international cricket. Because international cricket is altogether a different story. And we will see that when Pakistani players will play against Bangladesh. But so far, I think all the players, they have been working on their fitness. But as you have been talking about the heat waves in Pakistan, especially in Lahore or in Punjab, I think that is going to be a big question mark for the players. I hope they all are fit. They all are well prepared for this heat wave. And the good thing is that these are all T20 games which will start in the evening. So evening will not be that difficult for the Pakistani players. But obviously, when they will play continuously against the international team, then only we will exactly judge that how fit they are and how well they are prepared for these international matches.
All right, so which team would you be rooting for?
Well, I am a big fan of Islamabad United, and I've always been supported Islamabad United. I hope they will, win this match today.
Thank you, Kashif. Your answer made me very happy.
And when we go on against the Quetta Gladiators, if it's Islamabad United, of course, it's you're going to be rooting for Islamabad United. But if it's Lahore Qalandars versus Quetta Gladiators, who would you be rooting for in that situation?
I think either it is Islamabad United or Lahore Qalandar, Quetta Gladiators definitely has an edge over both these teams because they are a very well suited team for the finals. They have been performing pretty well, and they were at #1 in the pool matches. So I still believe that Quetta Gladiators has a very strong edge over Islamabad United and Lahore Qalandars. At the end of the day, all these teams are our teams. These are all Pakistani teams, so we are supporting all the teams. But the factual position is Quetta Gladiators is on the top.
Right.
Perfect.
And with that, thank you for joining us. We'll see later who gets the pizza that is on the line. And thank you for your candid words and the candid analysis on this topic. It was great having you on the show. Thank you for being here with us.
And now that we have talked about what has been happening in Pakistan, let's dive into what is happening around the globe. World Turtle Day is being observed today to highlight the plight of turtles and tortoises in both the wild and in captivity. The day calls on people to help celebrate and protect turtles and tortoises as well as their disappearing habitats. The World Turtle Day was created in 2000 and is sponsored by the American Tortoise Rescue Center. It encourages human action to help tortoise and turtles to survive. How cute, man. Turtles
Well, you know, this world is
role.
incomplete without it's a body that functions with all its organs, and each part of it is important because if one hurts, if one is in pain, the rest of the body is also in pain. We should care about all that surrounds us. And with that, there is also an important message, an other important international day that is being right now observed, and that regards to the mothers and the children and the betterment of humanity and the future overall. We're talking about International Day to End Obstetric Fistula. The International Day to End Obstetric Fistula is observed every year today with the purpose of ensuring access to emergency obstetric care and skilled health professionals. And we are talking about mother and child health care in this regard when we talk about this. And with this, we are going to move towards, when we talk about improvement and betterment, we should start with the basic brick. And the basic brick of any society is its youth. If the youth is corrupted, the society cannot grow. If the seed is bad, the fruit won't be bad. And when we want good fruit, we make sure that we sow the best seed, take good care of it. And in that regard, here in our studios, joining us, a very jolly, full of life, I'm loving his energy. I just met him before the show was starting and instantly fell in love with his presence. AZAM JAMIL Saab, Assalamu alaikum sir, how are you?
Wa alaikum assalam, thank you for having me.
Sir, being in your presence, there is this aura that I feel. I'm motivated to, even when talking about my show, I'm motivated to conduct what I'm conducting right now. What do you see the youth lacking, today's youth lacking? When you talk about confidence, what do you see the youth lacks?
You're going to get me into trouble, but देखिए, I give a lot of interviews, and you're aware of that. In every interview, I'm asked, is your son like you? And my answer always is, he better not be. Because he was born 30 years later. He cannot be like me. You cannot stop evolution, okay? Some of it is for the good and some of it is not for the good. Welcome to planet Earth. That's how life is. And I said, he has to be different than me. However, my message to the youth, I engage with them every day. And by the way, the last time I engaged with them was 40 years ago. So that youth is now grandfathers, okay? And I tell them that there's certain fundamentals that cannot change. Integrity cannot change.
Right.
Honesty cannot change.
You know,
Courtesy cannot change. Other than this, if you want to wear your jeans that are hanging down and people can see your underwear, so be it, yaar. What's the big deal?
Right.
You know? And when people say, "Aapne dekha ye kis kisam ke kapde pehante hain?" I said, "Did you see me dress up in the early 70s? I said, if you had seen me, you wouldn't have allowed me on your street.
Oh, we need to see a picture of this,
Yeah,
sir.
I tell you, white pointed shoes. And there was a cologne called Brute, right?
Brute.
Right.
And Brute bottles had this medallion around it.
All right.
And we used to pull that medallion and put it in our neck and go to parties and dance all night with the Brute medallion, because we had to tell people, hey, we have Brute at home. You know, so every generation comes with its oohs and ahs. I think it's very unfair for any generation to become judgmental.
Right.
Okay?
Drawing comparisons.
I mean, it's just not fair, yaar. I mean, come on, give me a break. Okay, yes, if my son earns a ill-gotten rupee, the wrath of, God will fall on him. That's not acceptable. Being discourteous to elders is not acceptable. Integrity being suspect is not. Other than that, if he wants to do, he's a mountaineer, by the way.
Mashallah.
So, he's at 7,000 feet and he's doing funny things and people say, aap aur aapki wife ko dar nahi lagta?
Fascinating.
And I said, mujhe dar lagta hai when he's at a rave party in F7.
Right.
That's when I'm scared. I'm not scared when he's at 7,000 feet. He's in God's protection. I'd rather be him in that pristine environment than in an environment that I'm not sure about. So, a long answer to your short question, our youth has some problems. And I will never give up on them as long as I'm breathing. Because when I'm on Twitter and somebody abuses me, the standard operating procedure is to block the person.
Yes.
And if some kid, 19-year-old, abuses a 70-year-old, my job is not finished, it starts then. So I messaged my number to him and I said, call me. And and 5 minutes earlier, he's abused me without knowing me. And he's in a state of shock. Okay, should I call him or not? And some do. And when they do, after 10 minutes, we are the best of friends.
Oh, wow.
So to disengage.
That makes my heart so happy, sir. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you with great health, sir.
I tell you, shutting the door on people is the easiest thing to do.
It is.
Ending a relationship is the easiest thing to do. Ending a job is the easiest thing to do. You take your ID, you throw it on the HR manager's desk and you walk out. Yeah, staying there, holding your ground is what requires courage.
Staying committed.
Albeit it's going to be very difficult. Running away is easy, but it's easy for the moment, and then things start getting tough.
Exactly.
The other thing, beta, is that our youth has become angry.
It is.
The frustration, agony.
Yeah, there is
yes.
that anger there. If they don't agree with you, they are fighting with you. There's no center path. Either you're saying things that they like, or you are saying things that are annoying them. So I try to teach them, I said, look, anger needs to be the last nail in the coffin, not the first nail in the coffin.
Right.
Wise words.
So just chill. I mean, if you look at our photographs on Facebook, we are the happiest nation on the planet. I tell you, they'll say, yaar, Pakistani kya peete khate hain? Look at them. Their smiles going from ear to ear. But, we've got happy pictures, but we've got angry souls.
Angry
Exactly.
souls.
And why do you think this happens? I don't think it's just the youth that is aggressive. We as a nation, it is embedded in ourselves to be aggressive and angry. We lack patience, we lack accountability. So it is being fostered into our youth as you have described. So how can this be dealt with?
Yeah, dekho, parents ka mere saath ek, you were discussing PSL T20.
Yeah.
Mera 30 saal se I have a T20 match going on with parents.
Oh.
A very fast
I
pace.
tell you, when they look at me, they lock horns with me, and so do I. And I just cannot understand this obsession with grades.
Oh, yes.
These 9 A-star plus, and
Do you think they ruin childhood and teenage?
absolutely.
It's an
You-
age that needs to be
the
approached
two
in a
of
very
you are-
romantic manner,
okay,
don't you think?
Wait, the
Yes.
two of you are young.
Yes.
You are bright. And it was such refreshing for me to be here. You
Jazakallah.
tell me, you come to work every morning. Sham ko, how many A stars do you take home? None.
None.
You'll be happy ke besti na ho.
Yes.
You'll be happy that you survive another day. Now you prepare a clone and you say ke 9 A stars say if you get one less, all hell will break loose. And that's fine as long as that kid is in O levels and in university.
Yes.
The minute he shows up at my company and I give him a job, guess what? The A stars finished. There's no such thing. Perfection doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So don't create a kid and say you are perfect. I don't mind you aspiring that your kid should do well. The problem, Muzzammil, is that when they get 8 A stars and 1 B, उस B पे जो घर में मातम होता है ना, that's what I object to.
I can definitely relate to that as
Wow.
a kid who went through O levels, and A levels was especially hard and it was traumatizing. And you know, I feel like grades, they do not prepare you for life skills. It is proper skills and getting
When you talk about gelling into the society, when you talk about getting integrated into the society, there are a lot of things that count. There's character development, there's how you treat people.
Absolutely.
And conflict management. I think personally, because I teach children as well, and I'm in a big part of the sports community because I teach boxing and all of those things as well. So I come across a very diverse you can say pool of youth that interacts with me. I mean, people younger than me, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years younger than me. And most of them, they have this resentment in them. And what I see is they wanted to satisfy their parents.
Absolutely.
And they couldn't.
One of my most famous quotes, Muzzammil, is that teaching your kid to win at all cost is the most dangerous thing you can instill in him. The minute you say that you have to win at all costs, then he determines the costs.
So what's your favorite kind of youth? An angry, troubled young youth, or somebody who's very lazy and doesn't care about things, and that's their problem? Because those are two polar opposites.
Agreed. Dekho, youth is my lifeline. You know, I see kids like you who are 100 years younger than me, my day is made, you know? So now after I leave the studios, I'm a happy bunny all day long because I've met the two of you. My only thing is that we have to stop getting judgmental. Also, there are things that soften your personality, Eesha, and those things are missing in our society. Poetry, film, theater,
Literature.
all these things soften a youth's personality. Secondly, I need to say something, even without your permission, is that every time we don't win a medal, there's national mourning. Hi, we've only won one medal. Oh, Allah ke bando, you've stopped sports in schools. Where are the medals going to come from?
Exactly.
You've killed the nurseries, and you know, where are they going to come from? Every school doesn't have any sports, and the school that has sports, the parents say, nahi, hamara bachcha time zaya karne nahi jayega, he is going to go for tuition.
Why do you think this time zaya karne wala factor, the
Yeah,
stigma?
because they, you know, the biggest mistake parents have made, Muzzammil, is that they've linked sports with physical fitness.
Right.
Physical fitness is a very small byproduct of sports.
Sports, yes, definitely.
You know, there are 10 other benefits that parents are not seeing. Nothing teaches you how to lose more than sports.
Exactly, and
You know,
building a
taking that
sportsmanship
loss with
spirit.
dignity.
Yeah, with dignity. And if you, in your channel, look at your talk shows tonight, and you'll see nobody knows how to lose.
And you know,
They'll burn the studio down, but they're not going to lose, right? So, as a nation, we've forgotten how to lose. Sports teaches you how to lose.
You're talking about poetry and art and theatre. Back when you were a teenager, Pakistan was big on those types of things.
Yeah.
The theatre was thriving, it was active. And today's day and age, we have kids that are shy to talk in a public gathering.
Yes.
Being up on stage, forgetting the script that you had, improvising your scene, I mean, that kind of confidence, we don't see it in today.
we don't.
So, a constructive advice for the youth, how they can exercise and build that confidence in them.
The first thing is, again, my love for the parents.
Yeah.
When we were young, our besti was outsourced.
Elaborate on that, sir.
Everybody,
Besti was outsourced.
everybody on the planet was allowed to slap your kid. And that's how you grew up to be a man of character. Aaj, if your younger brother reprimands your kid, you'll stop sending him WhatsApp messages for 3 days. ये मेरा बच्चा हो गया, बच्चे सांझे होते थे. Now nobody dare even scold your kid. When I grew up, my father's friends and family reprimanded us 100 times more than our own parents did. Like I said, our besti was outsourced. They said, please, this is your victim, go slap him. And we were slapped. Now that stopped. So I think that's the first step. Our youth is
overprotection, basically.
It's growing up in a very protected society. Teachers are petrified to scold the kid because they go home.
Don't you think that's very unfair? Because you're taking away a child's chance to experience life firsthand.
And those parents then walk into the principal's office and say, get rid of this teacher, he scolded our kid.
Yes.
And your education system collapses on the floor when the teacher is fired.
I have to, there's this memory of mine. I was not the brightest of my lot. So there was this teacher I had. She would be very angry at me. She was my geography teacher, and I did not like geography at all. So I complained to my mum once. My mum's a doctor. I complained to my mum once. I said, Amma, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to attend her class because I don't like this subject, because the teacher is not on good terms with me. And my mum made sure that I would work so hard that I would outperform all of the rest of the students, and because of the quality of my work, my teacher would fall in love with me.
Absolutely.
And I did that.
Absolutely.
Her behavior changed. I became somebody who has now the approach towards hostility in a way that if I see a hostile environment, if I see hostility being projected towards me, I will stay there, mitigate the issue, make sure I befriend those people and move on in life then.
Absolutely.
So
Excellent.
do you think the parents should sort of indulge in therapy or some sort of training that they have to train themselves to become that character in life that pushes their kid towards?
Yeah, sadly, you know, I am part of a NGO that's putting up Pakistan's first comprehensive neuropsychiatric hospital.
Wow.
Problem ye hai कि if you say that my kid needs therapy, the whole mahalla will get after you कि your son's gone mad.
Definitely, and that's a stigma.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's such a taboo that we've linked therapy with mental illness,
Exactly.
right? Although it's like any other illness. You have a headache, you pop an aspirin. If your kid or even you need therapy, you walk into a therapy. I counsel. I do one-on-one counseling. But, you know, people are very, very scared. You were talking of cricket. For 2 years, I was Babar Azam's coach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
Mashallah.
coached him. And he called me from New Zealand and said, I want you to coach me. He said, nobody plays cricket better than me, but they've made me captain. I need to become a leader. I need to communicate. I need to motivate. Nobody better than you. And for 2 years, I scolded him. जितनी बाबर आजम ने मेरे से डांट खाई है, अल्लाह माफ करे, अपने मैनेजर से नहीं खाई होगी. But
And you
the
shaped
kid,
him
but the
into a
kid
strong
was
man.
wanting to learn, and that's so refreshing. And the kid, you know, youth wants to chase success, Muzzammil, and I tell them that that's not a destination.
Right.
It's a byproduct of doing things right.
So in your view, today's youth, today's young kids, what's that special X factor that they have in them? Something that you've never seen before?
Yeah, they're very bright. They are extremely bright. You know, they are very tech savvy. You give them a problem, they will do it. But consistency, it's come at the price of consistency.
Exactly.
I tell them the last strike of the hammer breaks the stone.
Right.
But before the last strike, there are 10 other strikes that somebody's made that has weakened the stone. So they tend to give up a little earlier. There's this impatience, and there's a reason for that also. Do I have 1 minute?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure,
yes,
sure,
go
sure.
Okay, there's this culture of instant gratification
Yes.
which you guys have. Now, okay, you're hungry, you pick up the phone, and in 2 minutes,
The
the
food's on
pizza
the door,
guys at the PTV headquarters, right? If you want to wear a new shirt, one press of the button, 2 days, the shirt is here. You want to listen to a song, up goes the software, press button. imagine my life when I was your age. First of all, there was no such thing as a pizza in the entire country, right? But if you want home, if you went home and said, "Maine ye khana hai," invariably they said, "Get out."
Yeah.
You know, I want a new shirt. Wait till Eid.
Wait till Eid.
If you wanted to listen to a song, you had to wait for Air Salon every weekend. Nothing happened instantly. Now you guys are used to instant gratification. Whatever you want, you get instantly now. Here's the problem. There's nothing wrong with instant gratification. It's your time, it's your technology, you own it, you deserve it. The problem, Muzzammil, is when you use it in two areas where it doesn't work. The first area where there's no instant gratification is the acquisition of skill.
Wow.
There is no instant. If you want to learn the guitar, you buy the guitar and then God help you for 4 hours a day, and after 6 months, all you'll be doing is Jeeve Jeeve Pakistan.
That's it, yes.
That's if you want to become a guitarist. The second area where you guys used instant gratification, where it shouldn't be used, is relationships. Rishte ke liye koi app nahi hai. You can't press a button and save a marriage. You can't. There's no app. So other than these two things, the acquisition of skill and relationships, use instant gratification in your entire life. Not an issue. But because of that habit, don't bring it into these two areas. That's where the youth is hurting.
That is such a great point you made there. I mean, I never thought about it being this way, that instant gratification. I knew it's a problem. It's a problem. But when we talk about failed relationships, which we are seeing increasingly in today's day and age, when we see unskilled youth who have a lot of certifications to their name, but they don't know how to work with them, it's because of that factor that everything is so easily available. And you know, there are some things that you have to spend time with your friend in order to develop that relationship.
Absolutely.
You have to put your efforts in to learn a skill. Sir, it was great having you here, this candid discussion. I wish we had more time, and inshallah ta'ala we'll keep engaging, and I will come to you for counseling and therapy of my own.
More than welcome.
Sir,
more than welcome.
And Pakistan, people who are watching right now, these are the gems of our society. These are the people that we need to be in touch with as youth or even as adults. I mean, there is always room for fresh perspective. You can save your relation with your child, or for people my age, you can save your relationships with your significant other half, or you can save your relationship with your parents as well. Life is about understanding and putting your time and effort in place, keeping your mind at a centered spot. It's about the balance. It was beautifully explained, sir. Jazakallah. Thank you for being here, sir.
All right, you know, let's talk about what has been happening around the globe. I think this is going to be this news is going to make all the Pakistanis especially happy that scientists have found a way to turn lead into gold. How fascinating. Researchers at the Large Harden College of Europe's Particle Physics Laboratory near Geneva have succeeded in turning lead into gold. A near impossible achievement. The Large Hadron Collider is a giant particle accelerator that smashes atoms together at a super high speed. In the process, the researchers found a way to knock 3 tiny particles called protons out of lead atoms, turning them into gold atoms, albeit for a fraction of a second.
Fraction of time. Now, a special fact about this Large Hadron Collider is that they were trying to figure out how did this existence come into existence, basically. So going to the Big Bang, what scientists believe that the way that it was started was that a big cloud of subatomic particles was roaming around in the space, in the universe at very high speeds, and it collided, creating the Big Bang. And that was that central point where everything started from. Whereas we Muslims believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, kun fayakun, and everything came into existence. But however, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also tells us to read and observe and look into the science of things and how things work, because
being
that is
part
where
of Muslim is striving to learn, striving to educate yourself, and striving to educate the people all around us.
All right, and when we talk about gold, don't you think there is a part in us that just wants all the gold that is out there?
You know, especially with the prices skyrocketing, not just in Pakistan, around the globe. And you know, we as Desi people, we love our gold. And I think it was a recorded fact, a figure done by the BBC, which enlightened us that most of the world's gold belongs to the women of South and Central Asia.
Yeah, and with this, we are going to take another news, and this is a little exciting news about a fish called the Denionella cerebrum, and it can produce sounds that are louder than an elephant. Imagine a fish producing sounds that are larger than an elephant. An elephant lives out in the forest, big animal, and a fish that is able to produce sounds that are louder than an elephant. And we'll take you towards the sound that if we have. All right, isn't that exciting? Looking at these tiny little fish. I don't think that they're any larger than, you know, half the size of your fingertip, right?
Exactly, and imagine the amount of strength that it takes to produce such a large amount of sound.
Talking about strength, Eesha, Pakistan showed that strength. Pakistan showed that resilience when the enemy recently decided to step over our boundaries, when the enemy decided to test our resolve, trying to protect our motherland. Our soldiers and our nation stepped up, and Operation Bunyanun Marsoos was carried out to defend the integrity of our motherland. And to delve into this topic, to discuss the concept of Bunyanun Marsoos today and the heartbeat of Pakistan, our armed forces and the valiant sons of the soil and the courage that they showed. On Zoom, joining us here online today, a religious scholar, renowned religious scholar. He's a regular here at PTV World, and we've interviewed him before, Mr. Imran Sandhu. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you? And welcome to PTV yet again. Sir, do we have you joining here online with us?
All right, you know, talking about Bunyan Marsoos, it was actually derived from the Surah As-Saf, which describes the believers being solidified and being cemented together. And I think that beautifully gels with the concept of Jummah, because it allows us to unify and come together as a community. But we need to highlight
when we look inwards, what do we see? When we look inwards, we see a whole universe within ourselves. And if it's not in balance, our emotions with our mindset, our hearts with our bodies, when they're not in balance, we cannot perform everyday tasks. We cannot perform the jobs that we're performing. And the state works the same way. The heart of Pakistan and the body of Pakistan was in one place. The mind of Pakistan was in one place. And talking of Operation Bunyanun Marsoos, let me recap a little bit. Should we tell our viewers a little recap of what happened?
Exactly. Let's give them
a little
update.
Whenever Pakistan steps up in defense, because Pakistan is a nation that is connected to the sea and also connected to the mountains high up. We are one nation that is located on this planet at a very strategic location. We've got Afghanistan on one side, we've got India on the other. We're mineral-rich resource. We have high mountains, we have deep valleys, and Pakistan is a cultural melting pot. Hindus live in Pakistan happily. Sikh people live in Pakistan. Every year, Sikh yatris come to Pakistan and they're treated with absolute love in Pakistan. They're treated, and Christians are thriving right now in Pakistan, as well as Muslims and other ethnicities. We've also got Zoroastrian believers here in Pakistan, our Parsi community, and everybody celebrates Holi, to Diwali, to Christmas, to Eids, to other events that are celebrated here.
We are a very hospitable nation, and we welcome all, and we take care of all the communities existing within the state of Pakistan.
Now, the tricky situation is that elections popping up, the coming elections in Bihar are popping up right now, and India decided to do what the state under BJP always does, and what that did was conducting a false flag operation. DGISPR came out and told in a great detail that Pakistan wants to get into an international impartial investigation, which basically means that all the international stakeholders will converge. We will find out who killed those 26 innocent civilians in Pahalgam, because our hearts go out to their families. They were innocent people, and those terrorists need to be apprehended, arrested, and dealt with. But India, BJP-led India, Modi decided not to step into an impartial investigation, and they launched an operation, what they called an Operation Sindoor. And talking about this, we are now going to engage with Imran Sandhu Saab. He is a religious scholar, regular here at PTV. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Topic of the hour, Bunyanun Marsoos. Give us a little detail about the spirit of Bunyanun Marsoos, sir.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can you guys hear me correctly?
Jazakallah, sir. Sir, give us a little detail about the spirit of Bunyanun Marsoos, the concept of Bunyanun Marsoos.
And where this term originated from.
So So in Quran, Allah says, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Inna Allah yuhibbul ladina yuqatiluna fi sabilihi saffan ka'annahum bunyanun marsoos." So indeed, Allah loves those who fight in His cause in ranks as though they are a solid structure of lead wall, tightly joined together. So this is the basic idea of Bunyanun Marsoos, and if we go it into in the depth, it is not only a metaphor. It is a divine architecture of national resilience that Allah gives message on. A wall forged in the fire of conviction, cooled in the waters of unity. So we stood united as a nation. We may have differences of opinion, but as a nation, we stood united. You know, another interesting thing that you could see in the unity of our nation, the cyber warfare that we won. Pakistan's ethical hackers stood together, breached Indian air defense systems through though non-kinetic, and could not let their planes even do what they could have done. They stopped lot. They protected us from a lot of bloodshed. They went. We actually surfaced over the kinetic deterrence as well as cyber deterrence as well as nuclear deterrence. So under the supervision of General Syed Asim Munir, that we and then the chief of the army staff, and now promoted to the best rank that the army has, the field marshal rank. Congratulations to him. Our nuclear scientists, they stood behind the scenes. The NDU, National Defense University, has created such a such an intellectually strong army. The management of the army, that you have not seen it in the Islamic history before, in the modern Islamic history before. So congratulations to all of them. Congratulations to the justice-based Islamic worldview that is now triumphing over this Hindutva, false tyrannical ideology.
Now, sir, you've drawn comparisons between key events from early Islamic history and turning points in Pakistan's past, from independence and wars to political treaties. Taking those into account, where do you see we are headed, our future?
So this is an interesting parallel. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he gave this message of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah in Makkah. And then, when all kind of atrocities started to happen, this is a parallel to the advent of the independence of a new nation, the Pakistani nation, that has its ideology in La ilaha illallah, and it's takmil in Muhammadur Rasulullah, the sunnah of Prophet, of making a state, the state of Medina, the Riyasat Medina, and Pakistan is an exact example of Riyasat Medina. They did hijrah from Makkah to Medina. We had a hijrah from the now Hindustan to Pakistan. Lots of people came to Pakistan. They added value. The Muslims, they came. Then we fought a war in Kashmir. They unethically and non-morally occupied Kashmir. So we went in. They went to the United Nations. They had a contract that they will do a plebiscite. They did not do plebiscite. They marginalized Muslims over there. So we had to fight, and they were always aggressive, although they had themselves gone to the United Nations. We adhered to our treaties, the treaties we do, like all Muslims do. But then they had an offensive policy against Pakistan. Then they fought a war of 1965 that we won, like the war of Badr. We were not that big at that time, but again we practiced that Bunyanun Marsoos at that time, and we won that war. We had a little bit of setback in 1971, as the Uhud battle actually had a setback. But then our resilience, we became nuclear. We became a nuclear power, the only nuclear power of the world, Muslim nuclear power in the world. And then we deterred them, their false ideologies, their tyrannical ideologies that comes with Hindutva. And now, as we see in 2025, and we deterred them again, like in the battle of Ahzab, or Jang-e Khandak, Ghazwa Khandak. They had every kind of technology, the French technology, the Western technology, the Russian technology, like the Israeli technology. But all the technologies failed in front of our resolve and resilience, as Muslims won the battle of Uhud. And inshallah, very soon we'll see Kashmir to be freed from their tyrannical plans, inshallah.
Inshallah. That was very well explained. Can you please, in a short way, explain how the concept of Bunyanun Marsoos can be applied not just in Pakistan but for the Ummah all across the globe?
Inshallah, there's a wisdom of Allah behind everything. This 6-day war that we have totally, dominated in all the spaces, the physical space, the metaphysical physical space, the ideological space, even I would say the string theory, the spiritual space, the intellectual space. The world has seen, the Muslim world has seen, and it is going to play a long role, a part in uniting the Ummah again. We are already having messages from around the Ummah that, they want to join NDU, they want to be trained by our armed forces. So,
unfortunately, we're really short on time. There are headlines coming up, and inshallah ta'ala, we'll be engaging with you in the future as well.
This was today's episode.
Thank you for highlighting all of these points. And be sure to check out our YouTube channel for our viewers. Leave your comments and tell us what you want to see next. We will join you on Monday at this time and on this channel with your favorite morning show, World This Morning. This is Muzzammil and Eesha Rehan signing off. Allah Hafiz and good morning.